Hey, this is Michael Wang. Today we're gonna demonstrate how to modify the ports for the middleware products. Okay, so here we have our WebLogic. So first we're gonna try to modify the port in the console. Okay, let's log in to the console. Okay, so let's go to the servers. So here's my port. My admin server is 1053. My portal server is 8888, and portlet is 8889. Let's say we want to modify the port for this one. Let's try. So we can see that. So here the port listening port is here. So we can click log and edit. So let's say we want to. So we want to modify to 8988. Okay, so save. So activate. Okay, so it says no restarts are necessary. Okay, let's see if that's so if it's modified. Okay, so let's go to the okay, so here I'm on the server. So I'm gonna check if that port is enabled. Okay, so I know the previous port is 8888. Okay, so A988. Okay, so we can see both both port. Okay, so we can see the A988 port. So listening. So here it's just listening on different address of the same server. So 8888. Okay, so those are port says it's established. So that's the previous port. So we modified the port. So the port is now listening on A988. Okay, so it's so simple. So now let's see if we want to modify the admin port. So we modified the management server. So that's very easy. So now if we try to modify the admin server port, so now we have 1053 here. So we want to modify to 1055. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, so activate. Okay, so we got an error. So because the port is, so we modify the port. So the port was previously on this port so it goes to this URL, but we modified to 1055. Let's turn to that port to take a look. Okay, so 1045. Okay, so let's type the address. So we want to go to 1055. Alright, see, we got a 1055. So now we are, okay, I'll click servers. Okay, so now it's running on 1055. Alright, so one more thing. So usually if you have a reverse proxy pointing to, so it's reverse proxy enable this port, you need to modify that port too. So let's see. So reverse proxy is mod WLOHS. Okay, so now here we have, okay, so here we have reverse proxy for 8889. So we didn't modify this port. So what if we modify this port? So we need to modify it here. We need to bounce OHS. Alright. So this is how to modify it online. So another way to modify is so we just go to the server. Okay, so to modify it on the background, so on the back end. Okay, alright, so let's go to let's see where the port is stored. So the port, okay, so we go to config. So we need to look at this file. Okay, so port. Okay, so now it's 702, so that port is not enabled. Okay, so we can see we just changed to 1055. So it's 1055 here, so it says listening port enabled is equals true, so that port is enabled. Okay, so the portlet. The portlet is now 80. Okay, so this is SSL again. So the one we. Okay, so this portlet is 8089, so that's the one we didn't change. Okay, so 8988, so that's the port we changed. So if we modify this file, then we have to bounce the servers. So first, so if we want to modify it on the back end, so first we need to shut down all of the servers. Okay, so so let's shut down actually, so we can go to the so we can come here and we can shut down here. So we can also shut down on the server. So we can run the okay. So actually, so so we can shut down it here. So let me demonstrate how to shut down on the background. Okay, so on the back end. So first we need to check if we have the okay, so if we have the boot.property file. Okay, let's see if we have that. So we don't have the boot.properties file here. So if we want to shut down it on the backend on the server, so we need to have a boot.property file. So I can copy it from my admin server. Okay, similarly, so I can copy it to the portlet folder. Okay. So we want. Okay, so let's shut down the portal. So WC portal. Okay, so looks like it's still pointing to the old port. Okay, so it's still pointing to the old port. So we need to. So even we did it online, it changed the port, but there are some files still. So when we run the script. Okay, so we can see that. So here is okay. So start managed WebLogic.sh and stop. Okay, stop manage WebLogic.sh and stop WebLogic.sh. So there are a few files still pointing to 1053. So we're gonna change that. Okay. So gonna modify this 1053 to 1055. Okay, let's try again. Let's see. $10.55. Okay, so we modify the 1053 to 1055. So let's try to stop the managed server WC portal. So let's try again. Okay, so we can see it says successfully connected to the admin server. Okay, so it's shut down. Okay, so we can do the same thing for the portlet. Okay, so now we can stop the admin server. Okay, so we didn't modify the node manager here, so we don't have to stop the node manager, but we can do that here. So let's stop the node manager. Alright, so now we want to modify the ports. Let's see. So again, we need to go to the config. So we need to modify this config.xml file. So first of all, let's make a backup. Let's modify that. So let's see. Okay, let's try to modify a few of them. Okay, so port 1055. So let's modify to 1056. Okay. So here is the portlet. So let's modify this too. Let's modify this to 8899. Okay. Okay, so here is the here is the WC portal. So let's say we want to modify to 7988. Okay, so we modify the port. So to see, okay, what port do we modify it? Okay, let's see. So we modify the admin port from 1055 to 1056. So we modify the listening port for the portlet from 8889 to 8899. So then we modify the other port to 7988. Okay, so we modify from the configuration here. So then we need to go to the bin folder. So we need to modify the port in the scripts too. Okay, so let's see. So we know that the previous port we modified is 1055. So now we modify it to 1056. So we need to turn that to, otherwise it cannot start. 1055 to 1056. Okay, so another port. So those are the only for those scripts only have the admin ports. So it does not have any like management port. Okay, let's see. So this is not a port. Okay. So another thing, as we said, we need to look at our reverse proxy. So we modified the port. I think we modified 78889. So we need to modify the port here. So after that, we need to bounce OHS too. So let's bounce the OHS first. So we have to bounce the node manager too, because okay, so our node manager is not running. Okay, so node manager started. So let's bounce OHS 1. Okay, so let's go to the WebLogic domain. So let's start the node manager. Okay, so node manager started. So let's try to start the WebLogic. Alright, so the admin server is started. So let's see if we can access. So we have 1055 as a port. So if I do refresh, I'm gonna get errors because it's not listening on 1055 anymore. So let's try 6. So we change to 1056. Alright. So we need to type the HTTP here. Alright, so let's see if we can log in. Okay, so we are able to log in. So we already changed. Okay, so we changed this to 7988, and we changed this to 8899. Okay, so looks like we didn't set it. So we had a typo in the OHS. Okay, let's go back to the OHS. So let's modify the reverse proxy setting. So we got a wrong port here. So we're supposed to have 8899. Okay, so we need to bounce the OHS and node manager again. Shut down the OHS 1. Shut down the node manager. Start node manager. Okay. I need to have it run on the background. Start OHS 1. Okay. Okay, so we need to start the manage server too. So we can start from the background and from the backend. So by running the start manage server .sh. But so here we just click here. So let's just start it here. Okay, so both servers started. So let's say let's test our reverse proxy. Okay, so we have let's check the okay. So we have okay, we have two reverse proxy here. Okay, so let's say portal tools. So if we go to slash portal tools, let's see if I can go there. Okay, so we successfully reached to the WebLogic from the reverse proxy. So this one supposed to be on the port 8899. So let's try see if we can go there directly. Okay, we try this. So we can see we get the same thing. Portal tools. Okay. So looks like we got different fonts, but that's fine. Okay, so if we try the other one, so logging as a WebLogic. Okay. Okay, so we successfully modified the port for the admin server and management server. Okay, now one thing we didn't modify the node manager port. Okay, so now let's see how to modify the node manager port. Okay, so let's okay, so we have this OHS here. So OHS has a node manager. So let's see how to modify this node manager port. So we need to stop the OHS for node manager first. Okay, let's see. Stop the OHS. Let's stop the node manager. So now we need to, we want to modify the node manager port. So the node manager port is, okay, let's go to the node manager. So this is the folder for the node manager. So we have this file, node manager.properties. So let's look at this file. So node manager is listening on 55, 56. Okay, let's see. So we want to turn to another port. Let's first check. So what is listening? So which port is taken? Okay. Okay, so those are the port listening. Okay, so we got a 5557. Okay, 5557. So let's see, we want to turn to 5559. Let's see if this port is taken. 5559. Okay, let's see. 5559. So we need to look at. Okay, so we need to, okay, let's do it again. Okay, next 5559. Okay, so no, so nothing is listening on 5559. Okay, so node manager.properties. So 5556 right now. So we want to change to 5559. Okay, so we change that to 5559. So if we want to start the node manager, we can start. But okay, so the problem is OHS. So when you try to start the OHS, so you're gonna connect to the node manager to start that. So how do we? So how does the OHS know if we modify the port? Okay, so here's the problem. So we need to tell the OHS. So we modified the port. Okay. Okay. So we need to look at this config.xml. Let's see. Okay, so here we have the, okay, so the machine is local machine node manager. So here's the node manager session. So we can say this listening. So listening address is localhost. Okay, but it doesn't have a port. So since 5556 is the default port, it doesn't have that. But if we modify that, so we need to add the listening port session. Okay, so we need to add a listen port 5559. Listen port. Okay. Okay, so let's see if we can start the node manager and OHS. Okay, so node manager is started on 5559, so that's what we wanted. So let's see if we can start the OHS. Okay, so you can see, okay, so it's successfully started. So if you notice that, so before you try to start, it's gonna connect to the node manager. So if we don't tell it we change the port, so it will not able to connect to the node manager. Alright, so that's how we change the node manager port. So same thing, so if we have other if we have WebLogic, okay, so I'm gonna show you. So let's go to the WebLogic domain. So that's the previous domain we have. Okay, so we showed so how to modify the admin port, the management port. So let's see if we want to modify the node manager. So it's same thing. So we need to modify this node manager properties. So you can see we have so this node manager is listening on 5557. So I'm not gonna modify here. So it's the same thing we did for the OHS domain. So after that, so we need to go to the config folder. So we need to look at this config.xml. So we need to look at the node manager session. So let's say, so we know that this, so node manager, so it is 5557 right now. That's the current port. So if we modify the node manager port, so we have to modify it here too. So it's exactly the same thing for the OHS domain. So I'm not gonna modify it here because it's the same thing. Okay, so OHS. So let's try to modify the OHS port. So in order to do that, so I have to shut down the OHS. So let me shut down the OHS. Okay, so let's shut down the OHS. Okay, so So this is the configuration files folder. So let's see if we need to change the non-secure port. So we're gonna come to this file, http.d.conf. Okay, so we can see it's actually listening on port 80 now. Okay, so let's modify this. So let's say we want to modify it so to 8080. Alright. So SSL port. So let's say so we need to change, if we want to change the port here, the secure port. Okay, so here's listening on 443. So let's change to 445. Alright. So here's my OHS domain. So actually in the 12C, so there are two folders for the configuration files. Okay, so I have the configuration files here. So if we go to one level up, you can see there's the instances. So there's OHS 1 here. So there are also another set of files. We modify the one on the other folders, but let's see. So the port here is still 443. So it's okay. So the port here is still 80. Okay. So what happens is so this folder, so it's called staging folder in 12C. So the 11G doesn't have that. So if we modify we only need to modify the files here under this folder. So after that, if we bounce the OHS node manager, so it will automatically overwrite the files under this folder. Okay. So we already did the modification. So we need to bounce the node manager and OHS. So we already shut down the OHS. So we need to bounce the node manager. So stop the node manager, start the node manager. Okay. So let's start the OHS. So it's successfully started. So let's see. So we were previously under, so here, so because the 443 is the default port. So okay, so let's see which port we change to. Okay. So we change to 445. Okay, so this 8080 is only listening for the local host, so it's disabled. 445, so what we should be able to go to 445. Okay. So 445. Okay, so we have this IP address and 445. So 445 is listening. Okay. So maybe we didn't type the HTTP. Okay. So the site is up. So we successfully modified the port from 443 to 445. Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay, so we can go to the reverse proxy. So that reached to the WebLogic. So one thing we might need to know for the OHS. So for any port so it's lower than 1000, you need the sudo root privilege. So you need to. So if this is the first time you have your OHS is listening on the port 40 or 443, so you need to go here. So this is the OHS home. Okay, so you need to go to OHS bin. Okay, so if you look at this, the permission of this file, so we need to change this file to this permission, rws r -x. So we need to give the rws to the owner, which is root. So we need to change the owner of this file to root. So only we do this, so we can start the OHS listening on any port lower than 1000.